and welcome. You're listening to the X22 Report. My name is Dave, and this is episode 2430A, and today's date is March 18th, 2021, and the title of the episode is Patriots Use the Economy as Bait. The Deep State Central Bank took the bait. Let's talk about your health. The keto diet is one of the quickest ways to achieve a younger-looking appearance and burn fat. The diet has been shown time and time again in studies to flatten stomachs, burn belly fat, and give unparalleled anti-aging benefits. The problem, however, is that following a strict keto diet is difficult, if not impossible, for the average person. Eating just one bite of the wrong type of food or supplement can reverse the effects of all the hard work you put in that day. That's why I highly recommend my favorite Keto Power. There's a 60-day money-back guarantee. Get Keto with X22 for 51% off now by going to ketowithx22.com. That is ketowithx22.com. Or click the link in the description. Let's get into the economic collapse financial news. Now, Trump and the Patriots, when they were planning out everything that we're witnessing right now, they knew that the people had something in common, and that was the economy, earning money, paying taxes. They knew the people all revolved around this. This is why Trump and the Patriots, this is why they spent a lot of time creating that economy where people would benefit from that economy. And during Trump's 4 years as president, he did exactly that. He created an economy where people actually saw a difference. This was needed because he knew that the deep state, the central bank, they would come in, and what would they do? They would reverse his policies. They would show the American people what they had planned. He knew this. He knew they would go down that route. He knew that they would follow their agenda that they've been following. This was done on purpose. Because how else do you unite a people? Yes, there's many other ways. But through the economy, when you interfere with someone's living, with the amount of money that they're making, especially when people are struggling, when people are just getting by, and you decide to add more taxes on, the gas prices start to go up. Food prices start to move up. You get rid of jobs. You have manufacturing plants leave the United States. People take notice. People realize and they understand, well, wait a minute. Now you're affecting my livelihood. First of all, you promised something completely different. Well, this is what Trump and the Patriots did. They held out the bait and they said, okay, go ahead, take it. Do what you need to do to the economy. Why do you think the entire time when Trump was in office, why do you think they tried to bring down the economy so many times? Think about it. They tried to raise the rates. Trump called them out on it. All of a sudden, they froze rates. And then all of a sudden, Trump was saying to the Federal Reserve, no. We need to drop rates. We need stimulus. And of course, the mainstream media was out there saying this wasn't going to be done. And then all of a sudden, the Federal Reserve reversed course. Then in 2019, they said the stock market was going to come down. This was in the fall of 2019. And then 2020, they tried to bring down the entire system with the pandemic. There was a reason why they were doing this. Because if Trump made the economy great, then everyone would notice. Everyone would know what their plan was. And guess what? People know. Because people could see it very, very clearly. Look what Biden did when he first came into office. During a pandemic, during this horrible dark winter, as he calls it, they decided to cut jobs. Why would you do this when people are struggling? When people are barely getting by? Why would you make an announcement on your first day that gets rid of thousands upon thousands of jobs? Why wouldn't you wait? Because the central bank, the deep state, the invisible enemy, they couldn't wait because their system is falling apart. And Biden went ahead and got rid of the Keystone XL pipeline. And now we have the people firing back at him. 21 states, with Texas and Montana leading the charge, They are now suing Joe Biden for his decision to revoke the Keystone Pipeline. People are fighting back because when you go after someone's livelihood and people have nothing else to lose, they attack. And you know what? They don't stop. Now, what other states are there? Well, there's Alabama, Arizona, Arkansas, Georgia, Kansas, Kentucky, Indiana, Louisiana, and so forth. Many states that are going after Biden. The people are pissed. Now, with Joe Biden and his $2 trillion tax plan, this is not going to help the economy. It's going to destroy the economy. Raising taxes on American small businesses, that doesn't help small businesses. That hurts small businesses. Now, remember, Biden, he plans to raise the corporate tax from 21% to 28%. The combined highest income and payroll tax from 37% to 52%. A small business tax from 31% to 40%. The capital gains tax from 20% to 40%. An estate tax on appreciated assets from 0%, that's right, 0% to 40%. What do you think people are going to do? What do you think people are going to do when they have to pay a lot more money and their business is going down the drain and they can't make ends meet? We already have a tax on gasoline. That has been going up. You know what else he wants to do? Well, they're also talking about a carbon or energy tax to reduce climate change. A 2% wealth tax on households with assets of more than $5 million. This is pretty much covering the entire country here. And once again, they took the bait. Yes, people are going to become very, very angry. And they're already starting to become very angry because what did Jen Psaki announce today? Well, remember when Biden was out there saying, and we just mentioned this the other day, that the tax is going to be on those individuals that make $400,000 or more. Well, they had to clarify this because it wasn't $400,000. It was actually $400,000 for a family. Individuals, it's $200,000. So if you're an individual making $220,000, $230,000, $250,000, your taxes are going up. And that's a huge chunk of this country. There's a lot of people that make over $200,000, especially in the big cities. You think they're going to be happy now that taxes are going up? Plus, he lied. Do you really think he's going to stop at $200,000 a person? Think about all the other taxes that he has coming into play. Wait until he introduces the energy tax to reduce climate change. How do you think people are going to react to that? Think about all the percentages that we just talked about. Add on the other taxes, add on rising fuel and inflation. You think people are going to be really happy about all of this? We picked the right guy for the job. Now, prior to him, what did we see? We didn't see any of this. Actually, Trump reduced the taxes. Actually, the fuel prices went in the opposite direction. People were putting more money into their pocket. Yes, people are going to become very, very angry. Remember, people have one thing in common. Maybe two. One is their livelihood, supporting their families, making sure they can pay their mortgage, their rent, making sure they can pay their heat bills, their electric bills, making sure they have an automobile that they can drive with insurance, making sure they have enough to survive. Remember, the people, they're not making more money. They're going to be giving out more money. If you're making $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, $80,000, $200,000 plus, and you have a set budget and you have a set way of life, you're going to be doling out more money. If you have a business, let's talk about your health. The keto diet is one of the quickest ways to achieve a younger looking appearance and burn fat. The diet has been shown time and time again in studies to flatten stomachs, burn belly fat, and give unparalleled anti-aging benefits. The problem, however, is that following a strict keto diet is difficult, if not impossible, for the average person. Eating just one bite of the wrong type of food or supplement can reverse the effects of all the hard work you put in that day. That's why I highly recommend my favorite Keto Power. There's a 60-day money-back guarantee. Get Keto with X22 for 51% off now by going to ketowithx22.com. That is ketowithx22.com. Or click the link in the description. That you have a set amount, you have a certain amount of income, certain amount of sales coming in, and now you have more expenses. Does that help you or hurt you? Does it help your family? If you have to pay more taxes, you have to pay an energy tax. If you have to pay any type of tax, no, it just hurts you. Companies will not be expanding. Companies will be contracting. People will not go out and spend, which means retail is going to hurt, which means if people are spending more on taxes, are they going to be going out and buying real estate? No. All of this is going to start to fall apart. Once this is pushed through, once this is done, you're going to see the economy start to completely implode on itself. Did Trump and the Patriots, did they realize that Biden would lie and would push all these taxes? Because remember, Trump did the opposite. Can you see it very clearly now? Even those people that are sleeping, once they hear taxes, yes, they might make excuses in the beginning, but when it starts to hit them, when they start to pay out more, when they lose their jobs because he's cutting jobs, when businesses start to close because they can't make it because of the taxes, yes, people will see it. Actually, they won't just see it. They will feel it. Trump, the Patriots, they knew they had to show the people. Now, do I think it's going to get to the part where we're all living in poverty? No. I think Trump and the Patriots, they knew exactly what was going to go on here. They knew that while Biden was making all these announcements and the news was coming out, people were going to start to question all of this. Yes, some of these policies are going to go into effect. Will it hurt people right on the first day? No. Down the line it will. People will become angry. And Trump and the Patriots, they were counting on this. And we know that that Biden, he is in line with China. This is what he tweeted out. This is what he said actually in 2016. We're not trying to contain China. We're not trying to slow down Chinese growth. Growth in China is overwhelmingly in our interests. Really? This is what he said in 2016. Remember, he's controlled by China. And yes, we're going to see Joe Biden make deals with China. Yes, he's going to talk like he's tough, but in the end, talk is cheap. He will fold. He's a politician. He tells people what they want to hear, and then he does the opposite. That's all he does. But Trump and the Patriots, they knew that all this was coming down the line. They knew that it wasn't to make the central bank system great. It was to make America great and to show the people what could be. Yes, can it be a lot better than this? Of course it can. But he was playing within a central bank illusion. So is Joe Biden. But he's taking instructions from the central bank, from China and the rest. And this is why we see it being shifted the opposite way. But in the end, this wasn't to keep the central bank. In the end, it was to move the people away from their economic system. And I do believe this is why we see cryptocurrency right now moving up. This is why we see financial institutions saying, okay, and this isn't the top wealthy individual. These are wealthy individuals. But if you notice, it always starts at the top because those people get into it first. Those people protect their wealth. And what we are seeing right now is as more and more taxes come into play, as the dollar continually devalues, as we see inflation, which we're going to see, and what that means is the value of the dollar is decreasing because they're creating stimulus. They're putting it out into the economy. Remember, it's not being shoved into the banks or into the market. This is going to the people. The people are going to use it and put it back into circulation. We will see inflation. We're already starting to see it because of fuel prices. Grocery costs are going up. Actually, we're going to see costs going up in many different places because now it costs more to deliver the items. And yes, as the value of the dollar decreases, we're going to see inflation. When we see this, and as it continues, and as the Fed, as just Jerome Powell just made an announcement, they're going to continue with low interest rates and the stimulus. They're not going to stop. If they stop right now and they raise the rates and they stop stimulus, what happens to the economy? It falls apart. They don't want that to happen because it would reflect back on the Federal Reserve and on Joe Biden. So they're going to keep everything into place. And I do believe that Trump and the Patriots were counting on this because as there's more and more inflation, which means the value of the dollar is decreasing, as they continue with the stimulus, what happens to Bitcoin? It moves up. What happens to precious metals? They move up. They're a hedge against what is happening right now. And why is cryptocurrency different? Well, this is not like tulip mania. Right now, companies, stores, Visa, MasterCard, financial institutions, they're going to implement this into their system. Why? Because they know they have to survive. They know that if they don't do this, they're done for. Actually, a lot of the banks probably won't even exist. Because once everyone moves over, there's no need for a bank. And yes, you can still get gold, you still can get silver. That will appreciate just like cryptocurrency. It's just going to take a little bit longer because it's manipulated. But the reason why it's different is because people will be able to use this to purchase items, to get paid in cryptocurrency. Gold, silver, it's a little bit harder. What is gold and silver good for? Confidence. Because once you see gold and silver rise, cryptocurrency rise, and the dollar fall, you'll notice the difference. And I do believe this was done on purpose so a lot of people start to move over. And I think what's going to happen is throughout the banking system, they're going to have no choice. And at a certain point, people's funds will be transferred into the new system. Now, some people will get in early, just like with precious metals, with Bitcoin, and they will protect their wealth. Other people will just move whatever they have into the new system. Yes, it will rise a little bit more, and they'll come in at the end stage because they haven't been paying attention. Yes, they might lose some of their wealth, but they'll move into the new system anyhow. And I do believe that this is coming. And we're at the beginning stages of this. This is just the start. And I believe as this continues on, as Biden continues on, we're going to see a lot more of this. Because how do you introduce a new system? How do you go ahead and show everyone that we need a new system? Trump is using the deep state, the central bank playbook. Remember what they did in 71? Oh, they're speculators in the market. They created what? A crisis, an event. And people said, well, we can't have speculators. We must do something. Okay, let's detach from gold. Temporarily, of course. That's what they did back then. Now, Trump has turned the tables on them. Is there a crisis looming? Yes, he knew what the central bank was all about. He knew that their system would not survive. Will we see a crisis? Yes. Who will step in? What will step in? What will change during this crisis? Will they make an announcement? Well, because the dollar is losing so much value and whatever excuse they want to use of why it is, we're moving into the digital currency. The digital currency of Bitcoin. Everything's set up already. Think about this for a sec. Visa, MasterCard ready to go. Financial institutions ready to go. You'll get paid in Bitcoin. Those people that already have Bitcoin, you have to do nothing. You already have your wallet. You're all set to go. Those people who've come in from the back end here, who've waited and waited and waited because they believe in cash, they believe in the private Western Central Bank, they're sleeping. Those people, well, they're in a little bit of a shock. Just like when we moved from the gold standard to the petrodollar system. Now, back then, we didn't have social media. We didn't have anything else. People just went along with the mainstream media. But those people that were in the inside that knew what was happening, what do you think they did? They knew what was coming. They prepared for it. Did they make out when the system went off of gold and went on to oil? I wonder what they invested in. I wonder what happened with the oil prices. Yeah, they went up. What do you think is going to happen this time around? Yes, there will be a crisis. There will be an event to move us out of the private Western central bank system. Yes, a lot of people are going to be protected. A lot of people are going to protect their wealth with this. A lot of people might get hurt because they're coming in at the end stage. Remember, it's impossible to protect everyone. When the central bankers moved into their new system, a lot of people got hurt. There was no jobs. There were rolling blackouts in the UK. People had to wait online for gasoline. There were layoffs all over the place. Yes, a lot of people didn't make out. And some people made out during that period. I think there's going to be a lot more people protected during this transition than when we transitioned from gold to the petrodollar. This time, I think the Patriots are bringing the system in slowly so people can see it, people can taste it, people can experience it. And as we move forward, we're going to see more and more people move into this system. And then you're going to see gold and silver start to rise, and people will move into gold and silver. They'll diversify to protect their wealth. Listen, everyone, thanks a lot for listening. Be well, be safe, and especially be prepared. Thanks a lot.